Have you ever wondered why some individuals in relationships are completely fearing of commitment, always seeming to push other people further and further away when too much closeness comes to fruition, while other individuals in relationships seem to feel very anxious, needy, or clingy? Or perhaps you see instead that some individuals in relationships, particularly who we're going to be talking about today, seem to be a combination of the two. They are constantly hot and cold, giving mixed messages and mixed signals in relationships. Well, for all of these different relationship archetypes, there's actually something called an attachment style. And every single person has an attachment style. And your attachment style is the number one impactor of your relationship thriving or dissolving. So in today's video, we're going to dive more deeply into the hot and cold attachment style, known as the fearful avoidant attachment style. We'll talk about how to recognize this attachment style to see if it's yourself or someone in your life. We'll discuss their needs and their relationship fears, and we'll talk about how you can thrive if this is your attachment style or the attachment style of someone you know and love dearly. The fearful avoidant attachment style in relationships tends to be the one who essentially has a lot of different trust wounds and challenges. As a young child, they usually grow up in a household where there's a tremendous amount of chaos. So there can be a lot of walking on eggshells, maybe fighting, arguing that they see in the household, maybe broken promises or lies happening between parents. Or another really good example of how fearful avoidant attachment style can come about is if a parent has a substance issue or struggles with alcohol, for example. So let's say it can also be the result of having like a cluster B parent, a parent, for example, with borderline personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder, things of that nature. But essentially it just creates this instability in the household that's not about just inconsistency, like the anxious preoccupied, but that's actual, like, constant kind of chaos that's taking place. And I'll give you an example to sort of paint this analogy. Let's say that the fearful avoidant attachment style grows up with a parent who's an alcoholic. Maybe it's the mother, for example. One day, the mother may come home and they may be drinking. And so maybe they're in a really good mood. They've had a few drinks, they're kind of extra warm and kind. And another day, the mother, when drinking, has had way too many drinks. And now they're angry and they're volatile and they're harsh and even critical or cruel. And then another day, mom is sobering up and she feels, badly about her behavior and she's extra kind, extra sweet, extra caring. And then another day, mother is sobering up and she's going through tremendous withdrawals and she's really cranky and irritable and touchy. So we basically have like this consistent chaos, right? It's like this child never knows what side of a person they are going to get. Is it the loving side, the kind side, the cranky side, the angry side? There's so much unpredictability. And so this child learns to become extremely hypervigilant. Their attachment strategy is not like the anxious preoccupied to try to maintain proximity. It's not like the dismissive avoidant to try to keep people away. It's instead to read between the lines very consistently, to notice every change in micro expressions, body language, tone of voice, to try to read between the lines so they can assess what's going on and how they should be reacting. And this makes for an individual who can be very perceptive as an adult, but who also struggles to trust. They yearn for closeness because sometimes they see the good side of closeness. Like that example was sometimes mom in that case could be very loving to the child. But they also see the really painful side of closeness. So they have competing associations about the same thing. They think love is beautiful and something I want, and love is also pain and it's scary. And so they go hot and cold in relationships all the time. They give very mixed signals because their messaging about love to begin with has been programmed with all sorts of mixed signals. So their relationship to relationships is full of mixed signals, meaning that they are inevitably going to be giving mixed signals to others. So we'll see the fearful avoidant sometimes be very hot and cold. They're sort of like, hey, come closer, come close. And then you get really close and they're like, stay back. So there can be a lot of intermittent reinforcement, which interestingly enough is actually what gamblers become addicted to in gambling dynamics. It can be sort of addictive to be around somebody who's constantly intermittent reinforcing, even if they don't mean for that to be. I just want to jump in here and let you know that we are doing a 14-day free trial to the All Access Membership Pass at PDS, which means you get access to literally everything inside of the school. And this includes the 4 live webinars I do with our students every single week. And on top of that, you get access to all of our different courses. We have over 55 different courses on relationships, communication, boundaries, emotional mastery, guilt and shame, learning your needs, so many different facets that are really important to master our lives and feel really good about our lives going forward. And last but not least, there's a daily community event. We have trained facilitators and coaches who are in there doing that work, showing up to support you on your journey every single day. Please join me on the other side. Come check it out. See if it's a fit for you. I'd love to see you there. Go ahead and sign up by clicking the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying this channel and if you want to do a much deeper dive into everything love style, attachment style related, please consider subscribing. I put almost daily videos out here, just all about the subconscious mind, personal development, but especially related to attachment styles and relationships. Thank you so much for watching.